It's Mario. Hey, Mario. Hey, everyone. Welcome to my stream. My stream. It's my stream. You can't take it away from me. It's not yours. It's not Austin's. It's not Danica's. It's my stream. Don't yawn at me. Insulting. The Super Mario Odyssey, which comes out tonight at midnight, I believe. We're starting from the very beginning of the game. We skipped the opening cutscene. Blah 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 blah. We're gonna jump through this like sad ghost town. I'd like to know more of the history behind this ghost town, but hey, ghost town, give me my hat. No, it's probably click the dialogue. Fine. This morning I ran what is the equivalent to basically a review of this game on Waypoint, in which I call it a delight. It is pure joy, burst with creativity. Shocking that the studio, the team with the Nintendo that made the amazing Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2, Super Mario 3D Land, Super Mario 3D World, all terrific games, that they made another really good game. Like, whoa! This team that always makes amazing games made another amazing game. Like, but it's one of those things we take for granted. Like, the fact that they consistently reinvent themselves within, like, sort of a similar framework of Mario jumps. It's like, okay, what do you do with that? And they find, and actually, this new one they come up with, Mario Odyssey, is really less about Mario jumping. I mean, jumping occurs, but it's like jumping is like a small part of this game relative to the other things that you do. What up? Alright, so this is like a tutorial section. We're gonna skip past all this. This like kind of just gets you understanding the different moves and things like that. But I get it. I've played this game for almost 20 hours. So I'll just walk you right through that. I'm your tutorial. I'm the tutorial. Respect me. Respect what I have to say. I almost said authority, and then I feel like I was going down a South Park path. Respect the Cappy. Someone in the chat points out that I guess that makes you review a delight out of 10. Yes. Look at me do the motion controls. Spin it around. Oh, it's messing up my autofocus. What? I didn't use that stuff very much in the game. Look at this. Let's get our creep on. That frog does not seem psyched to be in the position that it's in. I don't know what this transformation process is either. Why do they even have to show it? Couldn't it just be skipped over? Instead of making it seem like Mario is terrified, the frog is horrified. It's unsettling. I'll be honest, it's unsettling. I did. I captured a frog. So you can see like somehow these moves are attached to motion controls. Apparently, there are button assignments to all of these, so you don't have to use the motion controls. But the game really wants to use the motion controls. Hoop. But don't worry, you don't have to. Woo! What's up, Froggy? So I'm playing this on a new save. I started a separate profile on my Switch, so I could show y'all what's going on. Let's see, is this it's just a heart thing. This was so long ago when I played this myself. Applesauce Five says, Super Mario Body Horror. You're not wrong, honestly. You're not wrong. Alright, so we're gonna fight this first boss. And we'll be able to go on our merry way. It's kind of interesting. This is like a really pretty game, and it starts in like a really drab, boring looking world. The rest of the game is like extremely colorful. Nutacon says, it sure is relaxing to watch Patrick play through a Mario adventure that isn't constructed by Dan. Yeah. Yeah, you and me both. I sit on the edge of terror on a daily basis, wondering, with trepidation and excitement, when will Nintendo announce a Mario Maker 2? They will. My guess is that is one of the games for 2018. But I just realized when that happens, I have to go down a particular rabbit hole. All over again. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't. I feel like I've had sweet release from that for the better part of a year. A full year. I think one of my last streams I did was when I announced that I was joining Waypoint, then Vice Gaming, with Austin. Whoop. Heck yeah! Shake! Go, Mario! Go! Faster! I think I just made some goop. Alright, so this is one, I didn't mention this in my write-up, but one of my favorite things about this game is that so when, well, I'll just wait. I don't want to spoil, I want to let the game go ahead and set it up. Our First Power Moon is to be, it's the name of my upcoming young adult novella. It's a short story. What up, Waterfall Basin? I guess I don't have to worry about collecting the purple coin. Like, I feel a need to collect them because that's what I've been doing all the time in my normal game. But like, I'm not gonna collect 50 purple coins all over again. Some of them are 100. Some worlds are 50, some are 100. Oh, this is a delight. Watch this. You're like, oh, what am I gonna do with this guy? I'm gonna take him over. I'm gonna F this world up. Woo! You think you're have some sweet release, chomp chomp? More like, get in my mind. Not great. Better jokes out there. Woo! Like I said, it's a novella. Our First Power Moon. There's a lot of interesting wrinkles to the mythology of the Mario world in this game. Like the Mushroom Kingdom exists on an Earth-like planet that exists alongside humans in New Donk City, alongside dinosaurs. I guess specifically just T-Rexes. Throw that cap. Give me that shit. Throw that cap. Give me that shit. Throw that cap. Give me that shit. Hot new banger. You can get that on Apple Music. Not Spotify. I'm only on Apple Music. The woke gamer only owns Apple devices. Cuts a little too close to home. Okay. Let's see, what else we got here? So now, you know, part of the joy of Mario Odyssey is starting to look around and see, okay, so if there are these moons everywhere, if you were a moon, where would you be hiding? It's like, I don't know how I can get over there. Okay, keep that in mind. There's a coin up there. Sometimes the purple coins lead you in the direction of moons. Sometimes purple coins. Sometimes the purple coin is just a purple coin. A lot of times you're like trying to like stretch the camera around, like what's up? Because there'll often be things hidden behind different parts of the world. Yo! Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So when the marketing started for Super Mario Odyssey and they showed that there was a T-Rex, I was like, oh, that's gonna be like something they're showing in the trailers, but it's gonna be like at the end of the game. You know, it's not gonna be something like real quick up front. It's like, no, just there's a mother effing T-Rex. Put your hat on it. Transform your body molecules with that T-Rex, and just go to town. What up? It's not even like a stylized T-Rex. It's just a photorealistic T-Rex. What's up? I'm be stomping. It me. The Stomper. Woo! Okay. Wonder if I can get up there. I forget. With the T-Rex? Nope. Yeah. Take a dirt nap. T. People saying the game audio is too low. I can turn that up. Boop, 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 boop. Let me know if that's better. Play that wonderful orchestral music. Love to get water on my face. Oh, there's a rock. Let's see if we can smash that rock. Ah! Boom! Don't care how big you are. Ah! Oh, shoot. Alright, well, respawn! Respawn, buddy. I need you. That's right. We'll come back. Oh, there's one there. So a lot of the game is finding creatures, looking at what their abilities are, and often somewhere nearby, there's going to be something that you can do with them. It's rare that you're going to have to go very far. You know, it's not like you're going to have to escort a Goomba from one end of the map to the other end of the map in order to use their abilities properly. Like, the game isn't... If there are escorty type things, and there is one specific type of, like, escort objective, it's very specific to that one, and you know how it works. Otherwise, things are pretty localized in Mario Odyssey. What? And what? Get out of here. What's up, Cat Mario? Meow, 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 meow. I miss you. I miss you, Super Mario 3D World. Not enough of this universe. A little loud now? Okay. Okay, we'll try that. We're going for somewhere in between. You let me know, chat. Hopefully now it's good. What? Alright, so it looks like there's something hidden behind there again. Woo. This is one of the, the creative things that have been focused on since this game was announced and shown at E3 and things like that, where they have these little 2D places. And they're really neat. It starts out extremely basic, like this, but the game goes to some very cool places with how it plays with the form. It does not remain just, oh, a little cutesy nostalgic trick. And you'll see here there's like another instance of how it interacts with 3D worlds. So the game is always hiding something around corners. Like, corners are huge in Super Mario Odyssey. Like, corners are the trendy thing in the world of Odyssey. You always want to be looking around corners. So when you see things like that, where it's like, oh, like a wall, I bet that's hiding something. It's like, yeah, you're damn right it's probably hiding something. It's probably hiding like 900 different moons. Right, so we got a boss. So the way the worlds are set up, is that when you go through a world the first time, you're usually trying to solve some problem which involves one of Bowser's minions coming through and wrecking some stuff, whether they're just hanging out being jerks or if they're actually actively messing around with the environment. And then once you've beaten them, there's always like a second objective you can complete. And when you've completed those objectives, the world actually changes. So like, for example, like in one area, like there's a bunch of stairs that suddenly appear, and those stairs will then lead to areas that you couldn't get to before. This is one of my favorite boss battles. It's just really, it's a clever, it's a very Nintendo thing. It builds upon a mechanic that you've been messing around with earlier in the stage, and then asks you to apply it in a totally different way. That's related to what you've already been doing, but thrown into a different and more stressful consequence. I don't think I've gotten that power moon up on that. Up there? Mental note, Patrick. I don't think you've gotten that one in your game. It's often that you'll recognize if you can capture a creature in Odyssey when they have a hat on. That's not exclusively that creatures with hats mean that you can capture them. It's just if a creature does have a hat. Other than that, other than the boss, generally speaking, you can. It just acts as like a guard. You just have to hit them twice. Multi-moon atop the Fa! Fa! It's my favorite place in the Mushroom Kingdom. Fa! I guess we're not in the Mushroom Kingdom. Hey, the story, you know? I don't know what's going on. I've done it. So the basic structure of the game is that you're traveling to these different places, helping solve the problems that are caused by Bowser's minions, and then collecting enough power moons in order to move on and power up your... See, so this is an example, right? So there was no way to get up there. That's because the world changes now that you've completed one of the objectives. So I can get up here. I can activate this checkpoint. And get this move. And so that's just like one small example of how the world changes your second time through. And the reason those checkpoints are important is because you can fast travel between them. Even though the worlds are small, they're incredibly dense, and you're going to be wanting to revisit places all the time. You know, because maybe you'll like go over a cliff and you'll suddenly discover this, or like, oh look, those coins are over there. Like constantly, what you're going to end up doing is like, let's say you're over here, looking around. It's like, oh, there's coins over there. Okay, all right, so I'm staring in that, I'm steering in that direction, northeast. It's like, okay, well maybe I can go over to this warp point, and then I'm gonna work my way over to here. This also gives you a list of, look how many moons, 25 moons in this small area. And so when you go into these doors, they're like even tinier little sections that often have totally different objectives for you. So in this one, it's like, there's a ton of enemies, and there's a dinosaur. So let's go ahead and grab this sleeping dinosaur that was doing just fine until Mario decided he needed to use him for his own nefarious means. Presumably, you could just do this with Mario if you wanted to, but I love dinosaurs. I love the fact that they put a dinosaur in a Mario game. I now demand that this now becomes part of the Mario DNA. Literally, DNA. Dinosaurs need a spot in future Mario games. DNA. Get out of here. Yeah, some people are asking if the maps in this game act as a brochure. That is definitely the case. So it'll actually give you kind of hints on things to look at and around. With some funny jokes and really good writing on these travel brochures. You definitely want to check these out. So like, look, what secrets lie within this barrier. It's not. It gives you just like kind of general hints, especially when you're new to the game, about some things to check out when you've gone to a new world. I just really enjoy the fact that Dinosaur was realistically styled. Like, it's such a tiny thing, but the contrast to the otherwise cartoonish, like, you could plop that into like a scary video game, like a Dino Crisis, and that dinosaur would still look just as at home. It's one of those things that, like, on paper shouldn't work, but totally does work. So there's two other mechanics that are interesting. One is this one over here. So this parrot, there are two ways if you don't want to just explore around, that you can kind of get tips on like where to start looking around. So the Talkatoo, good name, solid name, past the chasm lifts. So each of the, as you've noticed as we picked up moons, each of them has a name attached to them. And so what the Talkatoo does is just give you the name. I don't know if it goes on the list or not. Yeah, it does. So it informs you that that is one that you can find, and the names are one form of a hint. Now, this game has like 800 to 900 moons, and you only need 200, I think, to finish it. So another way of you're just like, I don't know what else to look for. So you got this little, Captain Toad looking dude. And you can go ahead and pay him 50 coins, which you're going to have tons of coins, plenty of coins in this game. Use coins in order to buy outfits for Mario, but those outfits they're not always just aesthetic. There are some puzzles that will incorporate specific types of outfits, but by and large, you can spend your coins freely on these hints. So you'll see it now adds one onto the map, and then if we follow the map to that location, you'll notice in the mini-map in the upper right-hand corner, just below the icons there, you see an X. And so obviously this one is pretty clear where this moon is. I'll grab that. That X gets cleared, and then it gets added to my list of completed and collected moons. And so you can go ahead and sit there and pay him for 10 of them or all of them. And he'll eventually tell you, like, oh, I don't have, any more hints for any more moons. And I don't consider it cheating. Like, again, you can play this game totally straight. Try and find all of them on your own. No hints whatsoever. I don't think most people are going to do that. And it shouldn't feel like cheating to get the X put on your map. Specifically, it doesn't give you, like, elevation. Or, like, it doesn't, like, make a ding, ding, ding noise if you're close. Like, all you know is that I just totally accidentally triggered this next one. These are time-based platforming challenges. This one's pretty simple. Some more coins down there. I'm going to ignore them. I'm going to ignore the temptation to get those coins because I don't need them. I've already collected them in a separate game. You can go ahead and note them for yourself. Let's go talk to our buddy. See if he can give us another power moon to collect before we move on to the next area. Yeah, I want hints. Put it on! Mark it, Toad! Nintendo needs to port Captain Toad to the Switch. I play that game again. I've forgotten it. Give me my Wii U games. Just put them on the eShop. Charge me again. I don't care. No one played Captain Toad. It's like a new game. Alright. Okay, so here's a good example, right? So you've got an X. It's clearly not right here. Nothing. There is one above me, right? But there is something up there. Alright, well, let's look around. Woo! Oh, okay. Look around this corner. Like I said, corners. Boom, this power. My guess is going to be that one that was, X marks the spot. Boom, it's gone. Boom! That's what I say after I collect every moon. Boom! And so that's kind of the basic structure of, like, the dynamic, hint, you should go check over in that waterfall. Let's go check out the next world. So once you got into power moons, you power up your Odyssey, so you can go on an Odyssey. The one thing I'll say, so the moons have, and I can't say this definitively, this is just only based on my own evidence of playing so far. I've collected 272 moons. Only in one world did I collect all the purple coins, and it didn't get me a moon. You just collected all the purple coins. The purple coins, there are purple coins, there are yellow coins, and there are purple coins. The purple coins are specific currency to each world. So you collect 50 here, 100 there. They don't go into a big purple bucket. It's just the purple coins you collect in one world are the purple coins for that world. And they function as a currency to buy region-specific outfits and then little stickers and other objects that go in your ship, the Odyssey. If you want to get all of the unlocked goods in this game, it doesn't appear that you need to worry about collecting all of the purple coins. And the reason that's important, at least to me, is because the purple coins are not, like, they are enjoyable to collect, but especially in the larger worlds, you don't get any indicator on where to find, let's say, the last 3. And so you basically need to wait for a guide or obsessively look around in order to find those last couple of coins. And that would drive me up a wall, as opposed to all the moons, which there are appropriate hints for. So maybe you don't know how to get it, but like at least you know, like, this is the general area to look around with, to experiment with, whereas the purple coins don't have that situation. Someone in the chat mentioned that this game looks pretty easy. It's not difficult. It's not difficult in the sense that the platforming is going to challenge you. This, a couple of weeks ago, Danielle Riendo played about 90 minutes of this and wrote about it for us, and she described it as an adventure game. And I do think that is a apt way of thinking about Super Mario Odyssey. It is a game full of puzzles. It is extremely dense. The worlds are not particularly big, but there is so many layers. It's why I describe the game as an onion, because you're constantly unwrapping new layers, and you're constantly finding new things underneath sections that you thought you'd already seen everything there was to be seen, but there's more. And then when you beat the game, they add even more layers to each level for you to have reasons to go back and try different, even more challenging sort of bits or stuff that requires a little more finesse as a platforming player. Nightpool 42 is the archive going up. Will that be taken down like the Assassin's Creed one? I believe the Assassin's Creed one is back online on YouTube. Maybe it's cut down. I'm not exactly sure, but there are no restrictions with Mario Odyssey this one. I could sit here and play the whole game if I wanted to. They said it was actually pretty cool about it. They just said, like, just be mindful of spoilers and be cool about it. So this is like a world. A little bit of cultural appropriation going on. It is not done out of malice. It is done at mashing things up, but, you know, that stuff can get a little complicated. So here, I'll show you what I mean. So Crazy Cat, which is found in every world. This is where you spend both your yellow and purple coins. So if you talk to this lady, guy, I don't know. Non-specific. 1,000 coins for those boxer shorts. You want to see those nipples? 1,000 coins. That'll take you a couple worlds. But yeah, you can buy these different outfits. This is the stuff you buy with the yellow coins. That'll expand over time. These are the ones you can buy with the region-specific coins, stuff like this. This goes into your ship, the Odyssey. That was a dog. What's up, dog? Woo! So you see here the region-specific coins. So you're in this desert area, but everything's so cold. I feel bad. So you see you can't possess them. I guess I mentioned that most of the time things that have a hat you can possess. You cannot possess those people even though they have a hat. Please don't possess them. Oh, Wheels 1993. According to Dane, you can pay a guy in the world to mark purple coins on your map. Oh, I did not come across that guy during my playthrough of the game, but that's good. That is awesome. That is the... I don't mind if games have all sorts of sort of inane collectibles, but I really dislike it when they make it difficult to find them, especially when you're trying to find the last couple. And so the idea that you can pay someone to mark it on your map to make it a little more specific is super good. Dan Reichert of Giant Bomb has played significantly more of this game than I have. I fished with 272, and I believe he collected, I think he told me 908 moons to do all of the stuff that's in the game. That's a lot of moons. That's a lot of moons. Often in the game, sparkly stuff, shocking, is a suggestion that maybe you should be poking around. See what it does. What is it? What is it? Show me! Probably gonna be a heart. Nah, it's a moon. It's almost always a moon. This game gives you so many moons. Moons for days. People asking, can you pet cats in this game? No. I also don't think you can pet the dog. Get out of here. I like that when he hits that switch, he hits it with the hat. I think one thing you can do is you can... Yeah, so if you throw it, and then hold Y, it can keep spinning. So it's like, look at how you throw it. Yeah, like there's a yellow block, a coin block that you're gonna have to hit like, you know, 6 times. You can just have the game do that automatically. There's a lot of little touches like that, sort of like quality of life things that make this just a really enjoyable game. Like, or it's really thoughtful, right? They've sat and given consideration to how players play these games in a way that is not necessarily true of some of the older games, and it just makes, like, the fact that you can pay someone to find the purple coins, the fact that you can pay someone to give you hints about the moves, like, it just means I'm going to see more of this game. And the fact that it's optional, if you don't want to engage with it, that's your prerogative. Like that is just fine. But the fact that it's there means that I will see more of this game. 3D Land, I saw everything, I collected everything. There was an incredible reward for doing so. You have to play this really incredibly difficult stage at the end of the game. 3D World, I didn't collect everything in 3D World because I played the game on a review unit and then had to rebuy the game on my personal unit. I believe that's why I had to do it. Basically, I had to do it all over again, and I just didn't quite get around to collecting everything. I love that little transition. Shoot, I thought I could drop down. Like that? Ah, that's good. Beep. And the reason I'm someone that doesn't normally do achievements, trophies, things like that, there isn't stuff like that in Nintendo games. But I find that Nintendo, when they put in things to collect, when they put in things for you to track down, they're often doing so because there's a compelling reward both in the discovery and in what's given to you as a result, right? So that's what I loved about 3D World and 3D Land, because the reward for tracking down all the extra stuff was, one, satisfying on its own because you got to experience the levels in a way where the designers were kind of like playing with you and kind of doing some mind games in order for you to find all that stuff. And then the reward was an extremely difficult, very satisfying level that was often at odds with the difficulty in the rest of the game on purpose. Because they're like, well, look, if you went and did all this stuff, then we're going to reward you with something that's going to really test your skills in the game. And that's what bums me out about having not experienced that in 3D World, because I so deeply enjoyed that reward in 3D Land. And so my understanding is this game, having come from the same team, functions in similar ways, where if you're gonna go through the effort to find more of the stuff in this game, they're gonna say, well, okay, fine, you're one of those players, all right, here's some stuff that's really going to force you to play this game both mechanically and mentally in a way that we don't really test players if you're just doing kind of the main path. And so that's why like, it's uncommon for me to 100% games. Deeply uncommon. I move on, but Mario games in particular are an exception to that rule because I find the 100%ing of them to be really gratifying. Yo, let's go. It's funny, in my write-up of the game, I mentioned, like, wow, I don't know how this game was developed. Oh, no! Well, this will show how death works, which is to say there's pretty much no consequence. You lose coins. Oftentimes, you get those coins back immediately, like I would right here. I wrote that it seems like this game was made in a sort of game jam capacity. in which the developers seem like they made a bunch of interesting ideas that they could put in a Mario game, and rather than saying, let's pick a couple of those and build a game around it, which is often how game development works, they basically said, what if we just did all of them? And that's pretty cool. Or rather, that was my description, and then Austin, when he was editing my write-up, said, dude, that's actually what they did. They did an internal sort of experiment session, game jam, whatever you want to call it, and then they took a lot of those ideas and just dumped it straight into the game and found an excuse that they could, right? Like Cappy, you know, with additional powers is essentially just a creative shortcut to allow the developers to let you do whatever they want. What's up, buddy? Come with me. Show me what you can see. Just flick them off my... Whoop. Move slower. You can see where you're going. Don't need those coins. It's not my real playthrough. I don't even need coins in my real playthrough anymore. It's too many coins. I bought everything the game will let me buy. Ooh, yeah, I'll probably need it. Three. 4. Here, Mooney, 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 Mooney. Here, Mooney, 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 Mooney. Oh, I see you. I see you, Mooney. My Mooney voice is very similar to my interacting with toddler voice. Later, buddy. Ninja X6729 to be determined asks about the Mario 3D Land secret. I believe in 3D Land, not only do you have to collect all the secret coins, but then you have to go through every level and hit the top of the flagpole with both Mario and Luigi, which is a tedious and not particularly fun thing to do. I did it. But I was not... That was not great. There was a better objective to put... Ooh. I don't think I got this one. Might. Okay. Oop. Yeah, I definitely did not do this in my game. Ah! Okay. Ooh. This is cool. It makes you, like, separate from your buddy. You gotta just hope you get it. That's for some of those coins up, man. Woo! Well, I don't need those coins in this version. Moving on. Okay, 1, 1, 2. 1. Boo. Do. Now the game's gonna punish me for rushing. I just want to get to the third puzzle. Okay. Alright, so now we got one. We should double check. Okay. think I'm gonna need the long jump. Oh. Guess it doesn't matter. Often, pro tip, I don't think it's true here. Can I get out? I can't. I guess I gotta finish this. Shoot. Often in these secret sections, there are 2 power moves. Someone asking if they've said anything about DLC for this game? No, as far as I know, they have not. Woo! Mario! But given they've been putting out DLC for all their other major games, like, I would guess that. Tumble, I'll tumble for more. I'll tumble for more. I'll tumble for Mario. Look at this. How did this get here? Let me become you. Did I just... Oh. There's a sheep. Alright, let's, go ahead and head to the boss here. I don't want to show too much of this game. I like, the surprise of Odyssey is a true part of its charm. True part of what makes it, such a blast to play. Like, what I want to do is not be playing this section here. I want to go and be playing the section that I haven't already done in my own game. Like, there's just so much I have yet to see. Anything over here that I can mess with? Someone was asking me earlier, hey, I haven't played a whole lot of the older Mario games. Will I be at a disadvantage playing this one? Nah, it's not like overly reliant on your understanding of Mario tropes or anything like that. If anything, this is like a really clean one to jump into for the first time. So that's an example of like one way they kind of remix these 2D sections. You know what they tell Nintendo, that's what we did with this game. Woo! 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 They do a lot of like playing with perspective in these sections. There's another example of, you know, there's a hint, right? Like you see a break in the rock. You always want to mess around with that to see what the game might be hiding. Because the game is always hiding something. Like, literally. The game is always hiding something. DJ Dr. What, can you talk about how big the surprises are? I mean, they do some interesting... They do some surprising things with the capture mechanic that I wouldn't want to go into. So here's an example of like a really clever way they play with perspective, right? So you could look up and get an indication, oh, there's something up there. But also, if you were to just have jumped over here, you'll notice, whoop, it moves up just enough. There's just a lot of things like that. This game is chock full of sort of like, sort of moments. It is really a game built around that stuff. But yeah, in terms of surprises, I mean, there's surprises for a reason. So like, some of the fun stuff that the game does with the capture mechanic, better left for you to discover and see what they do. And I took a bunch of video clips of fun stuff I saw in the game, and I was like, I'm just gonna put in some of the more obvious stuff. Like, I didn't want to put in some of the really cool things that I saw because, again, it's not that I'm adverse to like talking about a game in specifics and just giving people a warning. I just think that discovery is a huge part of what makes it enjoyable. Someone asking, oh, DJ Dr. White is saying, is it holy shit, wow, Breath of the Wild level surprise, or just, oh, this is a fun Mario? I think it's more towards the latter, oh, this is a fun Mario. I mean, I think it's an exceptional Mario, but I don't know that it completely, in the way that Breath of the Wild, like, completely reinvented how we thought about Zelda, even though it uses like the thematic trappings of how we thought about Zelda 1 and puts it into sort of a modern open world design philosophy. I don't know that Mario Odyssey accomplishes the same thing. It's just a really tremendously creative, fun Mario game. I think it's not revelatory, but that doesn't mean it's not also incredibly good. Not every game needs to reinvent what it is on sort of a fundamental. And even Zelda didn't really do that. The sandbox they put you in was just very un-Nintendo-like. Whereas Mario Odyssey is very Nintendo-like, but like in the best possible way. It's a lot of like what Nintendo is extremely good at, better than anyone. And it's, you know, games like Yooka-Laylee, A Hat in Time, like those games came out this year. I'm sorry that other platformers exist. I'm sure people enjoyed them. This game is just on a completely different plane of existence than anything like that. Booyah. Ooh, come on. Come on. So you can actually knock. I don't know if I'm able to do it. You can sort of interrupt her UFO form if you manage to hit it with one of the balls, one of the spikies. Some of the bosses do get more complex, and some of the sub-bosses are really interesting. But at no point do they become, like, particularly challenging. They're more just surprising. Alright, we'll go a little bit further, but this is going to bring us pretty close to the end of the stream. So you'll see, like I was mentioning before, how you'll finish a world, get rid of Bowser, and then something else happens. So in this case, you still haven't quite solved the problems of the people in the Sand Kingdom. Now there's just a giant hole. That's not great. I'm not sure you could even leave yet if you wanted to. 22. So you probably need 25. 5 more. 27. So now things have changed, right? Like, so now you're kind of in like a dark mode. Oh, this is good. What's up, buddy? A Jaxie. Sure. Trusty Robot, does it have a more difficult post-game? Yes and no. Yes, so when you're playing the game, there are certain objects you'll come across that you can't interact with. And you'll be wondering, what do I do with those? Well, in the post-game, something happens in which you can then use those, and when you use them, it unleashes a bunch of like really challenging power moves in worlds you've already been to, where you have to pull off some like really acrobatic feats. You get really clever about how you're gonna find them. So the post game both gets more mentally challenging and physically challenging in terms of like the dexterity required to unlock different. Let's just go straight to doing this thing. I'll show this sub boss. Bring this stream to a close. And yeah, so it's like there's a lot of like low-hanging fruit when it comes to the moons that you need to collect in order to make it to the end of the game. And then it's like if you want to get all the other stuff, the game is really going to ask you to do some wild stuff in order to get there. So I'm just going to kind of sneak through. See, there's purple coins over there, which means you got to do something a little trickier. Oh yeah, one thing. Goombas don't slip. Oh, these are good. Alright, okay. Get off him. So you can actually, you can stack them. Just the trick to this one. So not... So you still can't quite get it. You could go back and collect more, but then sometimes you can, like, eke out... Oh, well, you could go get those 4, or you can do this. You get, like, a slight jump out of enemies. When you escape them, when you release them into the wild. So you either could have, like, gone and stacked up more of these buddies, or you could have, you know, just done what I did. So you need to stack them in order to get those coins. That's an instance where you kind of have to guide your captured creature to a different location. Boop. Oh, that's right. Yeah, people are mentioning the frame rate. Something is a little up with the capture unit I'm using right now. It was fine before, and then something... So, yeah, don't excuse whatever got weird here. That's, the game runs just fine. And for whatever reason, it's gotten, like, slightly framey. Reasons I don't really know. Alright, so we're going to check out this boss, and then bring the stream to an end. This boss is cool. There's a reason why I wanted to show this off. Let's see if I just... turn it off and bring it back. Oh, still a little slow. The mysteries of streaming. I love it. This is just such. I love the little like worried face that boss gets. I guess little touches like that, where like in a different game, there wouldn't be that like sort of unique animation. But like in the Nintendo teams, like they really have that attention to detail. Ooh, that messed me up. Okay, hold on. Give me that heart. Boom! Ah! No bueno. No bueno. Okay. Ah! I messed it up. That's what I do for the stream. You don't need to see the end of that. That's Super Mario Odyssey. It's really good. If you like Mario games, you should play this one. If you don't like Mario games, you should play this one. There's also other good games coming out, like Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, which I haven't played yet, but I'm really looking forward to playing this weekend. I'm going on vacation for a couple days next week. I'm going to bring Mario Odyssey with me. I'm really excited about that. Assassin's Creed Origins, I don't know. I played the first 15 minutes and... Austin's playing more of that. We'll talk about all these games tomorrow on Waypoint Radio. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in and watching. You can read my write-up on Mario Odyssey at waypoint.vice.com. You can follow me at Patrick Kopek on Twitter. You can follow more of us at twitch.tv/waypoint. Facebook.com/waypointvice. We have a plan for our YouTube archives. Everything is going to be on YouTube in the next couple of weeks. Everything that has been on here before will be up on YouTube. We'll have regular archives going forward. There's a system in place. Praise be. Praise be to Natalie. Thanks everyone for watching. I will see everyone for Waypoint Radio tomorrow. See ya.